Hello, folks. We're live on air. And this is not Wildcard Wednesday. This is a dedicated Wednesday, first of the month, which we try to do a dedication to a certain style like Bumpy Road does on his on Mondays, Malted Mondays. And I watched that, but then I was watching it, but I said, I've never had any of these brute IPAs. I can get brute IPAs, but I can't do that on Monday nights at this particular time, maybe next year. Or later this year, but I'm in Louisiana with Louisiana Beer Reviews. Michael Komaroff is in Brooklyn, New York City. He doesn't have a video channel, folks. And then Bumpy Road is in New Hampshire, and he has his channel. And so, welcome to Pepper Spice. Now, here's what I've got. How's that beer? Well, I haven't tried it yet, but I've had it before. Okay, so here's the one I have.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Dos Equis Mexican Pale Ale. It was introduced last year. It's 175 calories, a little heavy on the calories. It's 5.5% alcohol. The IBUs are 30. It's brewed in Mexico, and the best by date is July of this year. So we got till July, so we're in good shape here. So what do you have, Michael?
I have Evil Twin Imperial Biscotti Chili Hazelnut Break. So this is brewed in Stratford, Connecticut through 12% imports, which is in Brooklyn. And it has chili peppers in it. 11.5%. It's an Imperial Stout with coffee and chili with hazelnut and vanilla extract added. So I've had this before. It should be good.
Nice.
I have not had that one, but I've had some of the others from them, the Biscotti breaks. Yeah, anybody can join Beers with Bart and Drunken One. You can join. You know you have the link. Okay, now, Jesse, what do you have?
So mine is from Ship Bottom Brewery. They're out of someplace in New Jersey, Beach Haven, New Jersey.
Okay.
And I have their Mexican Stout. It says that this stout is brewed with Mexican coffee and chocolates, roasted ancho chipotle peppers, cinnamon, and Madagascar vanilla beans. It comes in at 9% ABV. There's no date on this can, so I don't know how old it is. But hey, it's a 9% stout. So
you bought that on your road trip, huh?
Yeah, when I went down to visit Alex.
Oh,
I got to drive through the lovely Bronx of New York. It was a good time.
Yeah, I've been to the Bronx many times. I've actually stayed at the hotel in the Bronx. Well, it's an interesting part of New York City.
I had a little excess carbonation on opening, so
yeah,
I'm doing the best I can. Okay. I had like that beer explosion you sometimes get when you open.
Yeah. Yes, I've had that. There's a major highway two major highways that go through the Bronx. There's United States Highway 1 and Interstate 95. They both go through the Bronx.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the 95.
Yeah.
Over the George Washington Bridge.
Yep, I've done that quite a few times. And there was a hotel I used to stay at in that city, but something happened to it, and then it's not available for me anymore. So I have to do some more research on going back there. I would like to go back. So I poured mine. I'm going to give an examination. Mike's got to clean it.
I'm ready.
I've been through that many times. Good evening, guys. I'm also enjoying Dos Equis Mexican Pale Ale, says Bart. Oh, man. Hey, Bart. So I'm not going to keep reading all the comments, but I'm going to post them. I noticed when I watch other live videos, they'll spend half the video just reading comments. And I say to myself, Well, with StreamYard, you can post them. So why just read, and it takes a long time, and I find it slows it down, and I don't like to do that. Okay. It's not a disrespect to the poster. It's to move things along. Now, this beer, it's not really pale. I don't know why they call it Mexican pale ale. You can see it's more like a amber ale or copper ale. We actually docked it points when we did a review last year because David Garlapete and myself both commented that, if it's a pale ale, maybe it ought to be at least somewhat pale. But we did like the flavor. The head on here, you can see is pretty nice, medium off-white head. It smells a little peppery in the nose. They use what they call fire ant tears. But you know what fire ant tears are? It's a fancy word for habanero pepper extract, as I found by continuing to look at the Dos Equis website. So you get some malt in the nose, and they use cornstarch as a filler, cornstarch. But you get malt in the nose, and then the peppers come in, or the pepper extract, and you're like, whoa, okay. So Michael, I'm going to get back to him. Oh, here he is.
I'm back. Okay. This is what the pour looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Head was a little bit higher. It's getting minimal. It's a beige kind of head. Let me, very dark brown to almost black. Let me give it a nose. Now, you get the chili peppers in the nose. You get some roasted malts. I can't really smell the vanilla, but there's kind of sweetness that I'm able to pick up. I don't get any of the nuttiness of the hazelnut, at least in the nose. Let me give it a taste. Okay, the first taste is the chili peppers. It's spicy. So I would say it's a moderate spice on your tongue. You're getting some of the nuttiness from the hazelnut now, and it's extremely good. And it does really cover the 11.5% really well. This could be a very dangerous beer because what they've done is all the different tastes that are there are well balanced, and it's complex, and yet everything is put together really well. So you'd have to be careful. Very drinkable.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. I will have a number for you.
All right, let me write this comment, and I'm going to go back to mine for just a second.
Okay.
I'm trying to, he wants a schedule. It's hard to say what the schedule is going to be exactly because people's schedules vary. I'm going to say Wild Card Wednesday for the rest of the month except for March 18th. I wish I could give a complete lineup, but I can't really. And then you can always watch Malted Monday, and we're going to try to do Thunder on Thursday. Yeah, I can't really do an official calendar because it's too difficult to say. But, I mean, it'd be nice if you'd say, well, I don't do anything else the rest of the week, so I'll just have these events scheduled. But that isn't really the case at all. Okay, I didn't talk about...
You also pretty much have Stout Sunday on John's channel every week.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, and then they do Stout Sundays, which I've been skipping, but not on purpose, just because here's an example, other things to do. Okay, but I might join this Sunday, probably will. Now the taste, yeah, we didn't do Infusion Sunday because I just got home too late and it was no time. And that's going to be one of those not very common hangouts, but it will be fun from time to time, but it won't be a regular. Okay, this is very mild. You get the beer yeast, the ale yeast, whatever. You get some of the underlying grain, the cornstarch, the barley, and then at the end of the sip, the pepper spice kicks in. So it's mild. Don't let this scare you away. You're not gonna say, "Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot." Oh, no, 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 no. This one's just a little tingle in the mouth, mingling. The tingling is mingling with the hop bitterness. So it's an interesting product. And I got the 12 pack, which had a variety of different beers for $13.49 at Walmart.
Yeah, I've had that one before. I liked it. I thought that it had a good amount of actual pepper flavor and a little bit of that heat to it too. So, but not overpowering. So, and cheap, wasn't too expensive. So I think that's a good beer that you got there, Ron. So the one I have from Ship On, their Mexican stout there. That's some great can art. And
yeah, weird.
It had a bigger head when I first poured it. Kind of died down, but it's kind of that khaki, the mocha colored head. Color of beer itself. I got a lot of like ruby red hues through the bottom here, so the dark brown color. But the aromas. First thing I notice is a like coffee bean. Slight hint of chocolate in there. Now there is vanilla, Madagascar vanilla beans in this, it says as well. So maybe that would mix in with the chocolate notes a little bit, making it maybe a little bit sweeter of a chocolate aroma. And there's an ever so slight kind of like smoky chipotle pepper aroma. Let's go in for the first swig. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here come the girls.
Yeah, and the flavors of this one, it's kind of a little mix between the kind of coffee, bean, and chocolate. They're kind of battling each other. It's fairly light though on those flavors. Little bit of like a roasted malt flavor in there. I'm really searching for the peppers. There's like no real buildup of any heat. And I'm not really getting any cinnamon in this. I didn't get it in the aroma. I'm not getting it in the flavor. So if this one is older, maybe the cinnamon has fallen off.
Yeah. So show your title again. Ship Bottom Mexican Stout. And what's the ABV again?
9%.
Yeah, and
There's no alcohol flavor in this. There's no warming.
Was it expensive?
I can't remember what I paid. It was down in New Jersey, so there's taxes and stuff on it. But I think this one was right around $13.99 or $14.99
for
the 4-pack. Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Yeah, I'm really not getting any pepper notes in the flavor at all.
That's a disappointment.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty light body too for a stout. I'd say it's like very low medium body. And there's like very light carbonation. So yeah, I was hoping that there'd be some nice pepper spice in there, but it's really not showing up.
Sorry. Hey, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, Cap. I know who else says that. All right, now, remember, y'all, you can join Alcohol Legs on Facebook, and we talk about all these products and show different photos and whatnot, and people post their videos. So people have been putting a lot of interesting things on Alcohol Legs. Josh Wohler, Captain Bailey puts a lot of interesting things. Of course, I'm always putting something. Enjoying it. Oh yeah, there was a video today, B-roll footage. Okay, now, well, here's the next part called scoring it. Now, mine is 5.5, 30 IBUs. The price was nice. I can tell you exactly how much it costs. I'm not talking about sales tax, but let's see, 13.4 by 12. So hold on a second. So $1.12 per bottle. No problem, man. No problem. $1.12 per bottle. I like it. The body's medium. Hey, Beer Hound. It has kind of a nice little crisp finish, but in an ale-like manner. I remember that Beach Bum ale from Michelob years ago. I liked it, so of course I got rid of it. Now, you get some nice clean water in it. I guess Monterrey, Mexico's in the mountains. It's interesting, when we were driving along the Mexican border, David Garlapete and I, we were driving in my truck along the border, like literally you could see the river, and we went hundreds of miles along the border, and you could see these huge mountains in the background, which is an extension of the Rocky Mountains, or I should say maybe the Rocky Mountains are an extension of them. But I was telling him, look, we're on this flat ground here, or it seems to be flat. And then look at all those mountains with those jagged peaks. And Monterey is sort of in that area, so maybe it's some good mountain runoff water or something, whatever, river water. I'm going to score it. I'll say about 93 out of 100. It's an A. It's enjoyable. It's like there's no downside to it. It's just, there's like even a little leather and tobacco and Indian corn, if you want to call it that. I have a question. How rare is Rich and Rare? Well, it's so rare you can get it at Walmart. That answers it. In other words, it ain't rare. Okay, let me see if I can catch it, and then we're going to go to Michael. Well, these comments are coming fast and furious, like the movie series. New job? Well, that sounds good. I think I know a lot of people, or some people that are getting new jobs. Oh, don't drink too much. $350. I don't know what that comment means. Okay. Yeah, I can get a lot of Sierra Nevadas, but it's spotty around here. Like, you'll see a lot, and then you won't see anything, and then you'll see a lot, and you won't see anything. I'm gonna click the wrong button. All right, Michael, how do you score it? Yours.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 98. So
wow,
it's world class. But again, Evil Twin, at least in their top end stouts that they make, imperial stouts, that's, you know, they have several. This one, because they integrate the taste so well, and they blunt the alcohol so well, and it goes down so easy. And I like chili spice, so for me, I don't find it too spicy. If you're somebody who does not like spice, this would be a bad beer for you, because I would say the taste of the chili is actually heavy. So that, you know, of what they're saying, the chili is stronger than the nuts from the hazelnut, and the vanilla and the extract that's added is kind of just like a background taste. It adds to the sweetness a little bit, but it's not a main taste. And I was going to mention that this 16-ounce can was $2.87.
That is actually really good.
But that's at the food co-op, and their prices tend to be pretty good.
Right.
Also, if you look at it now as it's been sitting, the head now is almost totally declined. If you shake it, you get a little head retention, but it's down to a very thin head. I don't know if I mentioned before, the body is medium to heavy. So this would be considered, you know, kind of a thick stout as they go. But I would recommend it, and it's totally different from the even more Jesus series, because this is part of this Biscotti series, and it's not as in your face, and the alcohol is very well integrated into the beer where you really can't taste it. But be careful.
Okay, Inman, I have had some success requesting beers, but I never really request beers because there's so much I can get without looking or asking for it. I can't even keep up with that. No, that's in Florida, Hans. We don't get that out here. Look, I'll say this about beer shopping. Okay. And then I'm going to Jess. Listen, y'all. I was beer shopping at Mathern's, and Michael and Jesse, you probably heard me talk about Mathern's in the past, right?
That's where you work.
Kill. All right. TMI. That's where I was shopping. All right. People pay no mind to that. He's in New York. He gets confused. Okay. Now, Michael's about to punch me in the face.
I'm
Right.
mild-mannered, like Clark Kent.
He's going to fly back in time. He's going to go around the world and make the world turn back. All right. Now, no, but seriously, folks, I was shopping at Mathern's. So I'm looking on the shelf, and I couldn't get over it. I'm looking on the shelf today, and I thought to myself, I said, you know, honestly, I could get one beer a day from this store and make a video every day. Like every day, you say, I'm going to make a video. That's 7 days a week. And I would not run out of beers. Like I would literally never run out. I could do 365 beers a week. And
A year.
I mean a year. A week. That's kind of crazy.
We probably wouldn't see you again if you did 365 in a week, but
Little tiny beers. A year. And because their turnover is so incredible, like they just get new stuff in, you know. So I said, why do I even drive? I was thinking all these things today. Why do I even drive anywhere, you know, to go shopping? Because I just can't even keep up with what they have to offer. So it's craziness, you know. I was looking on the shelf today. I picked a few things. Okay, I bought a few things today. But I was like, I can't, you know, it's like a frenzy. It's like this, like I'm doing it with my hands. Like you can't keep up with all of that, you know, and which is, I guess, is a good thing. It's not my problem. I didn't buy the stuff. I'm not a wholesaler. I'm not even a retailer. I'm just a drinker. All right. I mean,
that's the thing too. Is I mean, even just with like local breweries, they're constantly coming out with new beers. So, you know, just keeping up with the local stuff, you're never going to run out, really.
No, you're never going to run out. And I do a lot of local beer reviews, but then people say, do you think I can find it? And the answer is always, I don't really think so. It's almost like no point in doing our video review for a local beer that nobody else can get, right?
Not unless you come on down to
Southeastern Louisiana.
There you go. So we're gonna jump from Michael, who had a world-class beer or an almost world-class beer, to something that I'm gonna call a world trash beer. This is just not even really giving off great stout flavors, even just as a standard 9% stout. The body on it's real weak, watery. A lot of the adjuncts that are mentioned, besides a little bit of coffee, I mean, the coffee is actually the most, a little bit of that chocolate. The chipotle peppers really don't show much, just a little bit. As I've been drinking on it, there's like a very, very like pinprick of a pepper heat, I guess you would say, but no cinnamon, and really the sweetness from the vanilla beans is not truly there. I'm going to give Chip Bottom Brewery. I like the can art. It's great can art. So let's give it a little bit of a better score. I'm going to give it a 77.
Wow. You can't drink the art though.
Yeah.
77, is that a C plus?
Ron, is that a C plus? I think it's definitely under a B beer. It's like,
I would just call it a C, a C.
It could be a straight C, depending on.
Yeah, I'll say
it's a see you later beer.
Okay.
See you later. Nice knowing you, not buying you again. Hey, well, I have done so many craft beers that were, and mass-produced beers too. I shouldn't single that out. That you're excited about, and you buy them, and then you think. And you ever notice that as soon as you sip it, you say to yourself, "Uh-oh." I do that a lot,
Yeah. Usually, for me, it starts off with the aromas, where I'm just like, trying to smell stuff. And it's like when stuff's really not coming up, it's like I don't know. Every now and then that will surprise you. A beer that doesn't have much aroma sometimes can have some decent flavors, but this one's just, the aromas were just a little bit better than what the flavors are actually coming through on this.
Now, Jay, you definitely can't get this beer, but I think Bumpy can.
Wait a minute.
From Jack's Abbey.
Oh, you're right. I can't get that. No way.
Called Framing Hammer Baltic Porter, and it's from their, I guess, Framing Hammer series of beers, and this is 10% and 45 IBUs.
Yep. Yeah, I have a video on that.
I would like to try it. Y'all want to see? Do you want to, before I do a plug for the Dornbusters? You want to see the things I bought today? It's
Sure.
not a lot. It's not a lot. Okay. So hold on.
I'm going to do this tomorrow as one of my beers that I'm doing.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
I like their other stuff. When you consider that that at least the Jack's Abbey division only makes lagers, they're able to get, every porter is not a lager, even though most of them probably are, but not everyone. Some of them aren't. Some porters ales, where they would be made with ale yeast instead of lager yeast, I think.
I think most porters are ales. I think if the Baltic Porter is now, I've heard other things, and I was kind of mimicking that. But then I started looking it up because I was on with Beer Man last night. We're doing the cheese and stuff, and some magnets there brought up the whole Baltic Porter thing. So, there's some that are ales as well, but it was originally brewed as a lager because of the Baltic area being colder.
Right.
So fermentation is easier with lager yeast at colder temperatures. And then I started reading other things that said, it's first stated that all Baltic porters are lagers. I started reading other things that it said that sometimes they're fermented with ale yeast, but at lager temperatures.
Right. So they're kind of like more hybrids almost. If it's it's whatever. But I like Baltic porters. I've had Smutty Nose makes a Baltic porter that's very good. Enough. You've had that theirs. They make one too.
Yeah, I can't get it.
That's another one from Bumpy's home state of New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
This one's from Massachusetts, but the one Smutty Nose is from New Hampshire.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I actually just read up. This is a Beer and Brewing magazine from a few months back. I'm kind of behind on them. I'm getting magazines every month now, but this was actually a write-up from the head brewer from Jack's Abbey. It was his six go-to beers or favorite beers.
That's great.
That is pretty cool.
There's more to it than a porter being a thinner stout, though. They usually lower ABV as well, but there's more to it than that.
Right, but like I said, it is more or less.
Right. That's true. And wasn't the porter term because the porters in England carried, they were in the wherever, and it was named after them, the porters on the trains in England. I think that's how
the workers.
The guys unloading the stuff off the ships.
As I drink this more, it's even getting better. As it's warming, there's more taste and different stuff coming up. Getting more vanilla.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Too bad I can't get it now. And then we're gonna close this out. But I'll show y'all. Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so here's for tomorrow morning. And somebody was laughing at me today. He says, 5:30. I said, it's a show. I have to do it for the world, you know. They still have Red Dog, but nobody can get it. Okay. So tomorrow morning, for good or bad, and mostly bad, I got the Kentucky Bow, introduced in 1950, before any of us on this group were around.
I was born a year later.
Right. So when you were 1 year old, you probably had no interest in Kentucky Bow. All right. And interestingly, 69 years later, you still have no interest in Kentucky Bow. And that's a good thing. That's actually a good thing. All right. And then well, it's not horrible, but it ain't exactly. All right. So the competitor is Clubhouse. And I don't know when this hit the market, but I'm sure it's not sold in any clubhouses in America. But my friend David likes it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I've been drinking a lot of this." I said, "Yeah, you like it because it's $6.99 a liter." He said, "Exactly." But he likes it. And we did a group review, Jean-Pierre and myself and David. So it's peculiar, let's call it. Now, here's what I bought. These are not all bought on the same day over the last week, but this was purchased today.
I've never seen that cosmic.
I've got a review coming up.
Is that new?
I don't know a thing about it.
No, it came out like last fall.
Yeah.
I have never seen it.
It's best by well, I better not mention that. Okay.
19.
Gulp. All right. Hey, hey. You know, hey. Here's something I bought today.
Which one?
Same one you got.
The Art of Mixing a Beer Negroni. Never seen that one.
It is a double IPA brewed with natural flavors. Oh no, a flavor beer. 8% alcohol, and it is brewed in Boston, Massachusetts by Dorchester Brewing Company.
You could turn those twins into triplets.
Oh yeah. Here's the next one I bought today. And I got the Evil Twin for $2.99, and I got this one today.
Oh, clown shoes. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's a.
Which one is it?
Clown
yeah,
shoes.
That's a really good imperial stout. I like that one.
I don't think I've had that one, but I do get some clown shoe stuff here. Party.
It is 9% alcohol. And it shows a big battle scene from like a comic book. I got to research that. Party Crasher. And here's some other ones I bought recently at Mathern's. Sounds like they must have had a 20-car accident out there on the highways. I'm hearing all these sirens. Sounds terrible.
That's St. Arnold's.
Commitment Imperial Stout. Is St. Arnold's the brewer?
Yeah.
That one looks good. What's the ABV?
I'm gonna guess 8%.
13.4.
Ooh,
It's a big one. It's a biggie.
And then the last one I bought.
Peanut butter from Left Hand Milk Stout. I wonder if that's in. You think that's in Jeremy's? Jeremy bought a mix pack of
Might
Lefty
be.
stuff. I wonder if that's in it.
This is 6.0 and 25.
I know their basic mill stout I've never had that one before.
And this was, okay, so this stuff was bought by me just casually looking around at Mathern's beer section. You know what I mean? But not a lot of like real deep emphasis on things. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I cannot run out of beers to review. Oh yeah, I had the Imperial Biscotti Break. David Garlapete and I reviewed that.
I have
Yeah.
I have a couple of them in my collection.
I grabbed this down New Jersey too because we don't get Evil Twin here. So
Now that's different from this one because it doesn't have anything added, but it's also good.
He lives in New England, can't get New England beer. Makes sense.
But you do, Jesse, you do get some Evil Twin stuff.
only if we had one from Evil Twin, but it was brewed along with, so it was a what's that called when two breweries
A collaboration.
yeah, it was a collaboration with Two Roads.
Wow. Because I guess we're lucky because where the importer is in Brooklyn, so we get pretty much everything they have. Plus, the owner Jeppy lives in Brooklyn, and he now has a brew pub opened in Ridgewood, Queens, which I have not been to yet, which I guess I should go to because my wife likes all their stuff too. So I could talk her into going along with me. Maybe a couple of other friends would go too, and we could make it an outing.
Yeah, and then you could go to Chinatown and Queens and go eat.
Right. It's funny now, most of the boroughs have their own Chinatowns. Beside the main one in Manhattan, we have one in Brooklyn. There's one in Queens also.
Yeah, in Flushing. I went to Chinatown last time, and yeah, he probably knew the manager in man. I was in Chinatown in Queens, and I said I want to order this egg soup. I never heard of egg soup. Egg drop, yeah, but not egg. So the lady said, "You're not gonna like." I said, "Well," she said, "That's what she said. You're not Chinese. You're not gonna like." I said, "Well, I said, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and bring the soup, okay?" So they bring this soup, and it's gray, you know. And so everybody in the restaurant is watching. Look, white man eat soup. So they're watching. And I mean, it was strange, you know, because I'm sitting there eating the soup, and they're like, the whole restaurant's watching me eat it.
How was it?
And they said, "How you like this? How you like soup?" I said, "It tastes good." Ah, and then they talking to each other. Ah, blah, 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 whatever they're saying. They're probably saying, "Look, he likes it. White people like it." So I was like, okay. So I just was like in the spotlight, and they couldn't get over it, you know, that I because they thought I was gonna like spew it out, you know. But they have one. If you go to Flushing to Chinatown, there's like one Chinese restaurant after another, and it's kind of like the non-tourist Chinatown because tourists don't go to New York to go to Flushing or the Bronx. So basically, all the people eating there is Chinese. Are Chinese. So you might get a little better value actually. And thank y'all. And so that was very interesting. And there's a library there in Flushing that's like a Chinese library, but it's the City of New York library, but it's all the people in there are not like me. You know? But I enjoy going in there. And it was the same kind of experience I had in Chicago's Chinatown, which also has a library. And it's interesting. A lot of tourists do not go to cities to go visit the library. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of tourists don't go to cities to visit the zoo. But I like to do those kind of quirky things, you know, because I know what tourist attractions are about. I've been there. I've done that. Chinese beer, Qingdao, yes, I've had it and I love it. And I've had the pure draft and I loved it too. All right, so any last comments?
Let's see. Anything else?
Uh,
How's Keystone Ice? It says $8.99 for a 15 pack. Something that I wouldn't be drinking. What do you think?
That's a little. Now Keystone Ice, I can get it for $7.99 a 15 pack, and it's a little bit different than most ice beers because it's an ale. It says right on the can, ale, and it gives it a little different flavor, like sort of like a Belgian style thing with, some Belgian beers that have a banana flavor. So it has kind of, huh?
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, like a banana note. I drank one today around 3:30. So it's interesting. I wouldn't write it off. I would not say, oh, it's macro, write it off. It's trash. I wouldn't do that. I would say try it, and if you can get a 15 pack for $8 to $9, I mean, you're not really losing much. But I think most people that try it really do like it. It's probably one of the best. I think Keystone Ice is probably one of the best macro beers on the market. Now, tomorrow I want to try to buy the Budweiser Nitro Gold, which is not an adjunct lager. It is all barley malt, water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. And that I could have bought it today, but I was going to see if a different store had a better price. But that's a nitro can, and they're telling you swish it around like this 3 times in your hand and then pour it straight in the glass. And I said, oh, that'll be interesting. Sort of like a Guinness. Who had the highest score? Michael.
Now, what Jeremy's bringing up now, this PBR coffee, is not a beer.
It is a beer.
It is a beer.
We got into that argument this morning on Beer Talk.
I was wondering because is it final that it's a beer?
Says it on the can.
Okay, because somebody was saying that it wasn't. Somebody who was discussing.
Gabe.
Okay, so he was wrong. Okay.
Well, it's a beer in a technical sense. In a practical sense, it's a Yoo-hoo with 5.9% alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So David Garlapine and I did a review of it. It's going to be posted tomorrow, I think. And it's a strange product, but you can taste the beer. There's no doubt. You can definitely taste the beer when you drink that. It's an undertaste. It's not an overtaste. What you mainly taste is coffee, cream, and chocolate. If you ever had a Yoo-hoo. But Yoo-hoo has like a water undertaste, whereas this has a malt undertaste. So it's I might go buy another can for a solo review, but it's a $2.79 for a can. It's not a cheap product.
Is it a 16-ounce can?
Unfortunately, it's an 11.0 ounce can.
That sounds expensive for what you're getting. It's only 5%, right?
I think it's like 5.9. I can't remember. But
why didn't the fart doctor like the copper lager? Can you ask him?
Yeah, why didn't you like the copper lager? I like that one.
Too bitter.
Too bitter. Oh, well. Don't drink these double IPAs then.
I was gonna say if he thinks that's bitter, he better stay away from all IPAs.
Yeah, even the New Englands with the juice. The problem with the Pabst Blue Ribbon coffee beer, was that as soon as you start enjoying it, then it's gone. Like you say, oh man, this is really good. And then you look in the glass and say, it's all gone. It's sort of like a Bailey's, like John and Ilya was talking about. It's sort of like a Bailey's. And David Garlapine said that too. But instead of using whiskey as their liquor, they're using beer. Okay, so kind of same concept. So if you like chocolate and cream, and it does use real milk, actually real milk. Starbucks is cheaper. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Jaeger for Jägermeister.
Beers Arcadian has an oblique sense of humor, so you have to take that into account.
Okay. I actually, the comments have been pretty good tonight.
I think so. Look,
Yeah.
I think the Pabst Blue Ribbon iced coffee is worth it if you want to try it once. But to sit there and drink it all the time, I mean, then you're going to start putting out a lot of money, and
I haven't seen it here either, so I don't know how fast we're going to get it.
yeah, I bought it at Mathern's a few weeks ago, and right before Mardi Gras, David Garlapede said, "Look, I'm giving up alcohol for Lent, so we need to do a lot of reviews fast." I said, "Okay." So he came to my house on Mardi Gras Monday, Lundi Gras, and we just review. And then he said, "Come to my house the next day," and then it was more like bam, 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 bam. So he was trying to get it all in before he gave it up. And I said, "Oh, I can understand that." So, but I have a lot of backlog now on reviews. Try to post them. Let's see. I've never seen Over the Moon Stout in my life except on the internet. Hey, Ronnie, anytime you want to do this,
it's only brewed, Jay, in their Baltimore facility. It's not brewed from Ireland. It's a USA product, I believe.
right? But I live in America, so I should be able to get it right.
I don't think Guinness has national distribution in the United States. It's available in some places, though. You can get all the other Guinness stuff that's brewed in Ireland, I'm sure.
Oh, you're talking about the stuff in Baltimore County, Maryland.
Right. So that's where I think it comes from. But somebody had a multi-pack. I'm not sure if it had that in it or not, from Baltimore.
Oh, if I see it, I'm going to check it out for sure. All right. Well, I'm overwhelmed by the beer selection I've got. I can't keep up, which is probably a good thing. It's not like I'm searching around running out of things to do. Michael's probably got the same experience. Bumpy Road may be more limited.
Like I was talking to Bumpy when you went off in the beginning, I have my tasting tomorrow in the house. So we're going to have 9 people. We were supposed to have 10, but one of the people was quarantined for the coronavirus.
Oh, man.
Now, again, he was quarantined by his company, his work company. They're paying him. They said, stay home. We don't think you're going to get it, but we're not taking any chances with our workforce. So my wife was the one who made the decision that he can't come, which is okay. I'm not looking for any trouble. So,
Yeah.
Well, if you invite him over, then you can be quarantined from work too.
I'm retired and don't want to be quarantined.
Well, they had a good news report today about that virus, and they said it's like a media hysteria. It's mainly just like.
Hopefully, it'll do a fast fade, and that'll be it. But we have some. Jeff was asking me about cases in New York. We do have like 8 or 9 cases now, which. People who have it doesn't mean,
fatality rate is less than 1%. And
no,
really,
the basic flu most years is much higher than the 1%. What's making this more scary?
Wait, well, he said the flu is about 1/10 of 1%. The only problem is so many people get the flu. So many people in America get the flu that you get about 40,000 people dying from it. But they're all
because nobody quarantines anybody because they have the flu.
Right. But the people that die from the flu are like a year old or 96 years old. Most of them.
This coronavirus seems to be killing mostly older people so far. So it's not really, they're saying if you're pregnant or if you're old, you should, if you're afraid, stay in your house and not get out into the population.
That's no joke either, because some people are old. They might watch this video and say, I'm 95. It's no joke to me. And I would say, you're right. It wouldn't be a joke to me, actually. Blaming bad monetary policy on Kung Flu. Okay. Well, that's about it. We could go on and on, but I'm not going to.
Who's going to win March Madness? Do you have a prediction?
No, because no team is dominating. It's anybody's game this year.
I'm going to guess it's going to be a college basketball team that wins.
That much we can depend on.
You're cheeky. I think it's going to be Well, I hope it's Louisiana State University, but I would not put money on that. It'd probably be somebody unexpected like, well, I'd like to see San Diego State win it, but because they have the best record, but they probably won't. They only have one loss the whole season.
Sometimes the teams that do better during the regular season peak too early and don't do well in the tournament. But
Yeah, they lost one game. They lost to University of Nevada at Las Vegas, and that's not even a good team. So
they used to be good.
they used to be years ago. I would like to see San Diego State win it. Then Holly's Happy Hour could talk about that. But I don't know. It's anybody's game. Like I said, if nobody's outstanding, then anybody can win it, right? It could be University of New Hampshire. You never know. Could be.
I don't know if they're even allowed in March Madness.
They are if they get there. Could be Long
They're like
Island.
a D-rated school, though.
Oh, listen to this. Negative vibes. These negative vibes. Yeah, UNLV with the guy that was sucked the towel. Okay.
So Jay, next week will be Wild Card Wednesday once again.
Yeah, the rest next week will be Wild Card Wednesday. Then we're gonna skip a week. But of course, y'all can do it without me. I'm not jealous of that. And then the 25th, more Wild Card, and then I think.
What are you thinking about for April? Are you giving any thought for April?
Yes, I was at Mathern's today, and I was thinking about doing like fruit beers. Any beer that's flavored or has fruit added to it. What do you think about that?
That sounds okay. I could get something with fruit in it.
Springtime. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds good. I could have a fruit thing.
Okay, so that's what we'll do in April. We'll do fruit beers of any sort. It doesn't have to be a fruit beer, but most fruit beers aren't made with fruit. They just have fruit added,
Right.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. We're shutting it down. We had a good examination. John and Neely, we missed you, but we might see you Sunday. And tomorrow night is Thunder and Thursday. If anybody has any interest in that, that'll be 7 Eastern. And go on about 30 minutes to an hour. All right, thanks.
Cheers.
Any last comments?
What about Fandango Friday? Is that happening this week?
That's why I got to do Thunder and Thursday.
Oh, so no Fandango Friday. Okay.
No.
Stout Sunday's still on. I know Bumpy's working, but we'll probably be on. And always exciting. And
Any last comments?
I'll end up putting on Beer 2020, the results tomorrow after I have my.
Oh, on Beer Talk? Okay. And then I'll let you know if I've tried any of them.
Bumpy, have a good week.
Yes, thank you, Michael. You too.
Seeing everybody.
Oh, yes.
Bye.
Enjoy your weekend.
You too. Everybody have a safe.
Actually, wait till you go up.